Progressive Democrats have never been shy about fighting for what they want. But their aggressive tactics in the recent fight over a massive social safety net package surprised many in their own party, raising questions about whether the tougher stance was an anomaly or a sign of battles to come. Emboldened by Democrats' narrow control of the House and Senate, the 95-member Congressional Progressive Caucus for nearly 2 months delayed passage of a bipartisan $1 trillion infrastructure bill, not because they opposed it, but to use as leverage in negotiations with moderates over a separate. In the process, they repeatedly stalled President Biden's legislative agenda and defied House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, D. San Francisco, who wanted to see the infrastructure bill pass in September. This month, most progressives backed down and supported passage of the infrastructure bill, even though negotiations over the safety net bill continue. Biden signed the infrastructure bill into law Monday. But the unusually bitter battle illustrated both the rising power of progressives in the Democratic Party and their growing friction with moderates. Some progressive lawmakers argued their hardball tactics were necessary to keep Biden's legislative agenda on track, and ensure it did not fade away once the infrastructure bill passed. They view the fight as more of a one-time occurrence rather than a template for future negotiations. It's a very unique situation, Representative Ruben Gallego, Democrat Arizona, said in an interview. I don't think we're going to be able to redo this. But progressive allies on the outside say they hope the caucus will continue to flex its muscle in ways it hasn't in the past. I certainly think it can be sustained, said Andrew O'Neill, Senior Economic Justice Policy Manager at Indivisible Project. This is much more analogous to a muscle that you work out and strengthen and then use more, rather than some sort of limited political capital that you just use and then it's all gone. Joseph Geevarghese, Executive Director of the liberal outside group Our Revolution, said that progressives' ability to hold together as a voting bloc for as long as they did was a signal to moderates that there's a new day in Washington, with progressives emerging as a much more powerful and as it's a numbers game, and we've got to elect more people who are willing to stand up. But look, I think there's a playbook here that works and can work incredibly well if we have more progressive Democrats in the ranks. Moderates warn such a strategy may backfire for progressives, and the Democratic Party, in the long term.